like, I wanted to ask with the road to greatness, and if you were to create a roadmap, what would your step 1 look like for somebody?
I think the first one that I briefly spoke about before was conscious awareness. I think that
Mhm.
is because if you're not conscious of what you're doing, you cannot change it. So if you're not conscious of gossiping or saying negative words to people, not being kind, then you can't change it. So the first thing is being conscious of your words and then think about what you're thinking about. So when you realize that you're thinking about things that are not positive or not productive for your day, then change that. We can all I learned this technique ages ago and it's been really effective for me that when I have a negative thought, and if it's a ruminating type of thought, so you understand what it is, you've sat in it, it's not like you're pushing it away, but it keeps coming up and it keeps coming up, then think in your mind about something that you love. It could be a child, it could be a dog, it could be a job, like literally, it could be your coffee in the morning, whatever brings you joy. Already know what you're going to think about. And soon as that negative thought comes in, move to the positive. And you could be doing this 60 to 70 times a day, but then the brain starts to rewire itself to stop going to the negative and start going to the positive. So that has been unbelievably effective in my life. And being conscious of your actions. So, like, what are you doing day to day? And are they serving other people? Like, if you don't like your job, then try and find a new one, but be conscious of the things you say, the things you do, and the things that you think. I think that is definitely the first tick on the roadmap to greatness.
It's so amazing that you said that because my what I wrote down was auditing your thoughts and awareness around negative self-talk and pattern interruption. So we are just aligned in that
Wow.
entirely. Yeah, that's amazing. I've been trying to practice with upward spiraling. So if I notice something that's negative, that's recurring, that's very familiar, is being able to interrupt it and then focus on something that's great about whatever that situation is and try to flip it to create a new neurowiring and like
Yes.
neural pathway. And it's so powerful. And then you also become so aware of how easy it is to just see the negative or see the
Mm.
flaw or and how often you do it and you're like, whoa, I have the ability to change this, and if I see everything with like such doom and gloom or negativity, then obviously that's going to scale out. So I have the power to flip that, and then it's kind of just like a constant practice. And how little can you dwindle that down to?
Absolutely. And perception is everything. You can have that. I'm sure most people have heard of the idea that, you have two sisters growing up in the same family. They can be twins, but the way that they perceive life is completely different, or situations. So, how are we perceiving everything? Are we perceiving it through a negative lens, or are we perceiving it through a positive lens? And, one of another great technique is how do I know this for sure? Byron Katie talks a lot about this, but it's in a lot of different work. What I'm so worried about, do I know for sure that it's true? I will promise you 98% of the time, you have no idea if it's true. Do you know if that girl is talking about me? Well, I don't really know. I might think she is, but do you know for sure? No. Okay, I'm thinking that that guy thinks that I'm a loser. Well, you're thinking that, but do you know that he thinks you're a loser? No. It's like we make up these stories in our head. My boss, I feel like my boss doesn't think that I'm as good as my colleague. Again, we do not know this for sure. And once we start reality testing our thoughts, we realize half of them are not true. They're just made up. And
Mhm.
you know what's really interesting as well? I heard this stat the other day. When we're ruminating over the past, majority of time, I think it's something like 70% of the time, whatever we're ruminating about, it's like it didn't even happen in the way that we perceived it. So
Mhm.
our memory of the past is not that exact memory. It's like we've just added some stuff to it and we're telling a story, and all that negativity is not even true. So you really have to be so conscious of the way that you perceive situations, because we always have the ability to choose the way that we perceive them. And if we do, why wouldn't you put that positive lens on it?